Hey guys, it's Saturday and it's raining, dreary day, but I just got done checking some cameras down on the food plots, and some bucks that I had this winter finally showed back up. One's a beautiful 8-point, the other is real wide, big bases. His brow tines are really far apart, so he's going to turn into something special. He's definitely a 3.5-year-old. But I'm pretty sure I had both those bucks on camera through the winter months here on the property. So I got them all on the lower side, down on the food plots and the mineral site that I have down there. So here to my west, down over this ridge, is where I had cameras set up on bedding areas this winter and was getting them in there. So the object for today is I have 5 cameras out already. I have 3 more with me. I'm going to place them on this south side of this bedding area and try to catch them doing some other things other than just going down to the food sources. So see if they're on this side, see if I catch any other bucks that I might have not got on camera yet. So I'm just going to kind of cover this side today, the south side. I don't spend too much time on. I always kind of leave it alone. So this year I want to run some cameras on it through the summer months and see what kind of activity. I have a pretty good idea where they go, but I've never really run cameras on them too much. So when you have all these cameras out like I do, I highly suggest you get the app Onyx Hunt. Onyx Hunt is what I use to keep track of all my data. It's like a diary for me, and I mark all my cameras so I don't forget where they're at. As you can see on the property, I have lots of pins, so I can check on those pins and see what they were. So this winter I marked a few bedding areas and a few trails, stuff like that, so I already know where my cameras are going to be, thanks to documenting it earlier this winter. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out. The kids and wife ran into town for a little bit. Tuesday's my birthday, so we're gonna go out to dinner tonight, but this rain should kill my scent a little bit, so I'm gonna take a little hike. As you can see in here, I did a little hinge cutting a couple years ago. Nothing real big. Just laid some stuff down to try to create a little more feathering habitat for them, because this is just plain as day. I'm doing all this work, and the timber guys might be in here timbering at any moment, so it could screw my entire season up. But if I don't do anything, that's not good either. So if I put in all this work and they screw it up, they screw it up. But I'm not going to sit around and do nothing, that's for sure. So right up here is where I want to put one of my cameras, up on this top. Finn and I missed a nice one, or Finn missed a nice one in rifle season up here, so they like to come through here, that's for sure. I'm going to be quiet, so. Got my first one home. This trail here, last year coming out of the south bedding, and I know this is all rut sign, but generally speaking, the bucks still tend to do the same thing. So right here at this ridge, there's just a tiny bit of a little bit of a divot here, and there was a community scrape there and a community scrape here, and a rub line going down into my bottom here. So might have to move that sucker in a week or two further down, but I like to hang all my cameras at least 200 or 300 yards away from the bedding, and I can check them on my quad to try to keep the scent down. So see how that does. I felt like walking today, so I just drove the quad to the top of the hill and gonna hike around up here. We got 2 more to hang. Always when you think you have enough cameras, you never have enough cameras, ever. I could have like 100 and still want to use them all. So I'm gonna walk out here. There's a nice saddle. I'm gonna put one in the saddle. So what's crazy is there's 125 acres, and yesterday I got a picture of that big 8 down over the back that I think I'm gonna nickname Widowmaker. My wife came up with that name, go figure. So when I refer to him and you see the pictures in this vlog, I'm gonna call him Widowmaker. But he was about a quarter mile down over this bank on camera. But that morning he was on the other side of my house on camera. So the only thing I can think of is there's 2 homes on this property. It was a west wind. He was out in the fields throughout the night, and his bachelor group made a huge circle to come into this bedding area. So I saw him at 6:30 and 7 o'clock on camera down below my house. They wanted a west wind to check the houses and check for anybody up here in his bedding area before they moved in. So they made a huge loop to access this bedding area. And I've seen that happen quite a few times. So I checked the wind, and it was a west wind predominantly. So I'm thinking that might be what their moves are in the morning, is to make this a big loop. And I have pictures of them last year during rut doing the same exact thing, moving through this saddle down here on a west wind, probably scent checking it or coming into this bedding area. So exciting stuff. You keep good data, keep good logs, things start to come together. At first it might be unrealistic, but the more you do it, the more you realize that this info is important. So I'm gonna walk right down here, lodge right there, and hang another camera. So what I've decided to do is just kind of surround this bedding area. So I'm going to add another trail cam marker where I want it, and then this whole bedding area will be surrounded. So I'm actually back at the quad, and there's a heavy trail that also, you can see it right here, enters that bedding area. So I would rather have all my bases covered than leave an access route to that or from it without a camera on it. So what I'm going to do for this time is, most of my cameras are over here anyways, I'm just going to surround this bedding area and get a really good idea, let these cameras go for a month, and get a really good idea of what the deer are moving before I move them. It's tough when you have a lot of property, but the bucks that I have the chance of killing are going to be hitting my food plots, I think, and all the activity always seems to be over here. So we're going to focus there first before we jump onto my lease with the cameras and all that good stuff. The mineral sites usually draw them in, so I have a pretty good idea that I will know all the bucks in this area. It's kind of figuring them out, learning what they like to do. It's early. I know everything could change come hunting season, and it will change. Food sources change, everything changes, but as a rule of thumb, I think it's a good idea to have travel corridors that they've used in the past in the back of your mind, so that when rut does come, you know what those deer like to do. Because generally speaking, in years past, the bucks that I've had on camera all summer return or are still here during rut. So that's a game plan. Well guys, I just hung another one. So that's trail camera number 3 for the day. I forgot I had an extra one, so I actually have 4 with me. and I still have 2 more at the house, so I'm actually gonna hang 5 today now that I kind of wrap my head around what I want to do. So this camera is actually directly above my house where they circle around, and then I just hung that other camera maybe 200 yards to the west of this location. I have a stand actually right up there in that pine tree, and this is where I got pictures of Widowmaker last year coming right through this saddle. So I'm gonna plug the pictures in this vlog right here, hopefully, or Mark will. So this is where they like to travel. Again, I've never really focused on the south side of my property, and the only reason being is there's a camp down there, and these guys I've had run-ins with before, so I always just kind of stay away from that area. But this winter I picked a really good tree with lots of good sign. I think that it'll be tough to hunt because it's kind of down in the bottom, so I'm not sure it'll even work out, but I think I'm gonna hoof down in there and hang 1 camera down there just for kicks to see what's moving through there. And then I usually have, which I didn't do this year, I usually have a mineral site way up on top of this hill, and I just didn't put one up there this year. So the reason why is usually I got the same bucks on both mineral sites. So I think it was just overkill. I think 2 mineral sites on this 125 acres is plenty. So yeah, I'm gonna hoof down over, leave the quad here, hang that 1 more camera, and then down near the food plots, down near the township road, I actually want to hang 1 more camera because that's the only other place I could miss these deer. So I should have the entire bedding area and the entire food plot surrounded. We'll just let the cameras run. I can check all the cameras on the quad, and the deer generally aren't too afraid of the quad. They might run off a little ways and stop and just watch you go by. So I can keep it all scent free from here on out, but other than moving some stands here later in the summer. So fun stuff. I enjoy it. Wouldn't you know it, I lied again. I hiked down in there, and then I thought to myself, what am I doing? I want to put all my cameras where I can check them off the quad. So I turned around and didn't like it down in there anyways. For some reason that south side, nothing really appeals to me compared to this north facing slope. So yeah, all the sign seems to be over here, but hung camera. It's in a good spot. It's where 3 gas well roads intersect it are never ever checked. And then I don't know if you can see it, but right through here there's a ladder stand. 2 years ago I killed my buck in first day of rifle season with my recurve out of that stand. And then last year my brother killed a buck out of it the first day of rifle season with his rifle. So this area has always been good. It'll be easy to check with the quad, so that's another reason why I hung it there. Running out of cameras though, so there's a lot of other places I'd love to have cameras, but I'm kind of stacking my odds all on that one side, and I probably shouldn't do that, but it'll be exciting. The food plots and putting all that work into the food plots makes you want to kind of be successful over there. So already getting a lot of pictures of deer in the food plots eating. Every night it seems to be full, and then just like last year, June 22nd, it seemed like all the bucks showed up. So last year on June 22nd, Finn and I, there's a storm coming in, and we went out and glassed the fields, and we saw 4 bucks that were all nice deer. I'd have shot them all. One he named Splits, and we saw him, the last time we saw Splits was, I believe, November 11th. So hopefully he shows up on camera. No sign of him yet. And then 2 of the other bucks we saw on June 22nd are still living. Those are the deer that I got on camera this year. So it's pretty cool. To the date, we weren't seeing bucks. And you can watch back through the vlogs. Nothing was showing up. And then boom, June 22nd, went and checked the cameras, and they started showing up on the 20th. Kind of crazy, but I guess that's just what they do here. Years in the past, they'd stay until the velvet comes off, leave, and then come back the last week of October into the later weeks of November, and then they seem to stay here through rifle season too. So hopefully with the food sources now, those deer will tend to stick around a little longer than they have in the past. But who knows, you never know. It's fun either way. I love learning about deer and trying to figure out deer. Hopefully we can continue cataloging this throughout the year and be successful sometime in the archery season. So as always, guys, stay safe, shoot straight. Thanks for following along. I know it kind of probably gets boring just listening to me talk, but this is a vlog, so we just vlog what we do in our daily life. And I try to tend to just keep it to hunting situations and hunting stuff. We're pretty busy with Finn's hockey and my practice and the girls, so a lot of times I don't want them to be included in these vlogs. I don't want to get too personal with my personal life, but Finn's always been involved. So anywho, I'm gonna cut it at that. So peace.